All right, it's 2 o'clock. So let's get started. I'm Lori Austill in the Instructional Technology Resource Center. And with me, I have my colleague, Cathy Leavitt. And today we're going to be talking about unpacking your course in ISU Canvas, post-move inspection, your ISU Canvas setup priority list. Basically, we're hoping that as a result of this workshop, you will identify how to, you won't have practice during this workshop. We don't have enough time, but we're going to show you what it looks like when you import from Moodle into Canvas and what you need to do to update your modules, your discussions, assignments, relink external tools and apps, including Panopto, and then use the link validator in your Canvas course. So we'll just touch on these real quickly, just so that you have a feel for what to expect when you do that import and where you can kind of get started. Without further ado, I'll switch to Cathy.
All right, so let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, so I have on the left, I hope it's the left for you, I have Moodle, and on the right, I have Canvas. So you'll notice that when it comes across all this stuff here at the beginning, that says the introduction with the picture and all that, that all comes over in a page over here in Canvas. So if I open this page here, you'll see some of this, yeah, you'll see all the same things. It doesn't quite go over the same, but all the information is there. You just need to find it. You'll also notice, if I can go back, so right here, the instructors put a note, like right here, FYI, mark is done. That comes over as a page as well. So if you don't want it to look like that, then you need to go over here to editing, and you need to, oh, that's the wrong one, sorry, you need to click on it. And the note is there, but you need to edit and change the title. So you'll just go in and edit the title of that to get rid of all this big long list, and maybe just put important note or whatever you want to name it so it will stand out instead of that big long list of everything that's on the page. Let's see, the last thing, well, let's do that again, is you'll notice that this instructor has put in, let me see if I can get down here a little bit. So they've put in things like learning activities, assessment. In Moodle, these are called text and media areas. And you can see those over here in the same place, but they're called text headers. So if you click on the plus sign, if they don't come over or if you need to edit them, you can do that. But to add them, you're going to go up here and it's a text header that you're going to add those pieces to separate the content. All right, what's the next thing, Lori?
And if you were doing duplicate, and over on the left, if you had the left-hand column open, if it says resources, copy, resources, copy, copy, it'll change those to pages instead of your text headers. So just some little tricks that we figured out, because it's like, why did these come out different? And we've realized it's because it had that extra word copy in there. So it thought it should be a page. The other thing is the module name. She has module 1.1. If you had anything below that in your module area, like she's got introduction 3.1 to 3.4, that will not show up. It tries to put it all in.
It tries to put it all in there, but it ends up not being able to. It looks like it got it all in there, but it looks really messy. So what we would do is we would just go probably back to about there and delete that and then save that so it's a shorter, neater title, and then change this because then this is all the same information. If I click it open, it's all the same information that was in this text and media area.
It takes it and creates a page for you.
Yeah. So instead of this text and media, yeah, it creates a page and it changes it as the title of the module too.
And unlike Moodle, Canvas is a topics format. And so it's not going to automatically bring in the dates like it does in Moodle. And on the left is February 5th through the 11th. If you want to have that in your course, you'll have to go in and manually add that to that title area and call it week 1, module 1.1, or yeah, put the dates in there. So that's not an option to switch between them in Canvas. And I don't know, I generally don't recommend putting dates like that because every semester you have to go in and change those then. And so students will be able to see basically the dates because they'll look at due dates and things. Essentially, they'll know what week they're in, but that's just another little tip to keep things generic, to make it easier on you each time. Any questions about that?
I had a structural question. You have both of these open at the same time. Is that a functional thing? Can do? I like that. It helps.
Yes, I do it a lot just to make sure that what I had in Moodle is the same that came over into Canvas, and that although stylistically it's different between Moodle and Canvas, that I'm getting the same
Yes,
stylistic change in Canvas when I move it over that I want.
that's great. That'll help. Thank you.
Definitely recommend that. That'll make it a lot easier for you. Okay, you want to switch back to me?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to discussions. By the way, we're working on documentation for all these kind of differences between Canvas and Moodle. We're in the process of finalizing those, and those will be available in our Tiger Tracks directory. Discussions. If you like to use Q&A style discussions where the students have to post, they have to reply to you and then wait 30 minutes before they can see everyone else's post. That is also possible in Canvas. So if you have your Moodle discussion set up that way, it will come over that way into Canvas, but there's a little checkbox that says participants have to, it's all new terminology.
Yeah. Participants must respond to the topic before viewing other replies, is what it says. Yeah.
And they don't have the 30-minute delay, but they do have to post first. So if you had that setting, you won't have to change that. It'll still be there. But if you're just using a regular format, or I need to catch my breath. If you're just using a standard forum type, that will just come right over for you. I would check all of your settings to make sure that your points are where you want. If the points are still adequate, this is where you could do your open and close dates if you wanted to right then, those types of things. And if you're using a grading guide or rubric, you will have to re-add those into your discussions and assignments because those do not come over from Canvas. So that's another reason why it's handy to have them open side by side, because then you can just copy paste from Moodle over into Canvas and rebuild those. But once you add it into, so say you use the same rubric for every discussion, once you add it to one discussion, you'll be able to go add it because it'll save it for you under your class name, and then you can go find that and add it to all of your other discussions. Same goes with assignments. Kathy, anything else on that I didn't cover?
No, I don't think so. I think discussions are pretty similar to what they are in Moodle. Just a few different things as far as like the types of discussions are. But I think it's, you open it up, you add your topic, and there's some settings to choose from. And I do that you can add the rubric to the discussion, and then that just helps with your grading in SpeedGrader, which we'll get to in just a minute.
Yeah, I love the SpeedGrader function. And one new feature in discussions is you can have peer reviews within a discussion. So that's replacing the workshop tool that was in Moodle, but you can do that in forums and assignments. So that's going to be a really nice feature if you like to have your students give each other feedback on a document or something. that'll be one of the features we'll cover in a future webinar. Do you want to show them SpeedGrader?
I can, I don't think she has anything
maybe
set up, but
that's-
I
that's
can
more-
show. Oh, that's more advanced. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, we'll move on to assignments. Kathy?
Okay, let me get back to where I need to be. All right, and share. All right, so let's find an assignment in this Moodle class. They have lots of quizzes. Okay, so here is an assignment type where they say it's a homework. Assignments, when you move it all into Canvas, they come in as imported assignments until you create some categories and move them around. But let's see if I can find this one. It's right here. So when we open the assignments, you can still type in your directions in the settings. When you go in Moodle, it's settings. In Canvas, it's edit. When you go into edit, you still can choose your points. This is where you choose the category it goes into, and you can choose, do you want points, incomplete, complete, letter grade? I would suggest sticking with points just because that's going to go in into your grade book the best. You can choose the type of file that you want to accept, the number of attempts you want them to have on this assignment. And this is where you can start working and breaking it apart like the workshop. You can do group assignments and require peer review, and then you set your due dates. When I save this, even though I didn't, I'll probably have to cancel it. Right here at the bottom is where you're going to add your rubric. And if you use a similar rubric on multiple assignments, then you, like with the discussions, once you've built that rubric for an assignment and you can apply it to as many assignments as you want. Yeah, and you just
And the discussion rubric is in a different place.
yes. So I can show you really quick. For assignment, the rubric has a button right here. Tell me if that changed to the discussion.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so if I go to this test discussion and I open that, the rubric's going to be, add the rubric is going to be over, I don't know why it's not there.
Maybe it's not a graded one.
Oh, yep, I gotta edit. I have to change it to a graded. Yep, I gotta check graded. And then when I save that, then when I go over here to the three dots, I can add a rubric here. And then when I add it, I can build it right here on the same screen. It just opens a pop-up window. Can you see the pop-up, Lori?
Yes.
Okay, so you can, it's teeny tiny, and I'm sorry, but let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. You just build the rubric in here. You give it a title, and this is your criterion, and you can break it apart by points, or if you click this first box that says free form comments, it just gives you a box to write comments about the criteria that you set. So if it's a summary of the article, then you can say in this, when it creates the rubric, you can put a comment, you got the beginning and the end, and you missed an important detail in the middle. So you could, yeah, you can do all of it, and you can set the points to whatever you want.
And it works like the grading guide. So you have the ability to enter however many points out of 5 that they got, where on a rubric, it's more restrictive. You have to click on whatever column that you set up. But with this, you can just enter the points and it'll total up the points for you at the end when you save it.
Yeah. And you can do partial points. Out of 5, they could get 2.3 points or whatever you. Yeah.
Yes.
You can do partial. So.
And I have had people ask where students see the rubric and the feedback. If in the main discussion or assignment box, if you put a comment in there, they actually see that displayed in their grade book. And then there's a little link that will open up the rubric for them, and they'll be able to see what you scored on the rubric. It'll have just a little icon that they can click on to read that. It's pretty handy. They don't have to. In Moodle, it's hard to find. Students have a hard time finding that. It's pretty simple here.
Lori or Kathy, in Moodle, they, like from the grade and assignment, give them comments, which is an important part. They get an email on that, I think, or typically get some sort of notification, and they can read it then. will I get that with this as well, or do we have to set that up?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't have a notification tool
Okay,
in there. Yeah.
okay. One more
Good.
question on that, if
Yes.
I could, and I may have been very likely confused, but I want to make sure. If we have, often we'll have, for each week, we'll have one or two assignments, typically at least one. It doesn't put all of the week's assignments in one block, does it? Or is
No.
it just for, it keeps them within the module?
Yeah, so if you can see, oh, I unshared, but let me share again.
Canvas, you have the option, because it's not set up by weeks, you could actually have an assignment block and have all the assignments there. I think students are used to seeing a block for each week.
Right.
And if you're used to that, I would stick with that. But the difference is for you, so in Moodle on the right-hand side, there's that little block where you go right to all the forums.
Yeah,
In
Sorry, I'm the wrong side.
in
You can go to, yeah,
Canvas,
I don't have it
there-
in this one, but
in Canvas, there's a file, a folder called discussions and a folder called assignments. And that's essentially where you can build them and then add them anywhere in your course.
okay.
And the students don't see those. So we have disabled that so that students aren't skipping the content and going right to the assignments page. So you still have that flexibility, but the students don't have that flexibility with the navigation. But it's going to be up to you how you want to organize your course.
so in Canvas, you'll see like down the side next to assignments, there's the eyeball with the little slash through it. That just means that it's hidden for students. Do I need to reshare?
I think
Yeah,
that'd
you're
be
showing
okay.
the PowerPoint.
Okay, fantastic. So these little eyeballs right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That just means that the students can't see those things. But
Okay.
you as an instructor can. So if I click on assignments, it's going to give me a long list of all the assignments in that course, but the students will see them within the modules.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, same with the discussions and same with the quizzes.
Excellent. That is great. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Kaylin is asked if they can still, like the Moodle workshop, if you could have students peer review each other's videos. Excuse me, the answer is yes. You would just set it up as either a discussion or an assignment. And then as Kathy was showing, you would check the checkbox for peer assignment. And she's asking, there's no stages, so it's a lot easier. You don't have to move things along to the different stages. And as far as a rubric for peer review, I don't think there's that option.
But I don't think you can add a rubric for students to use, but you could add a rubric as the instructor to grade the overall peer review experience.
Would you suggest then that I have two separate assignments, one a discussion and one that has the peer review, so that they would have the peer review when they're doing? Because as educators, they have to use the rubric, the Danielson rubric, to evaluate the videos.
So one way to do it would be to give them the rubric in an editable Word document that they could fill in, and then they would have to upload it, which they can do either in a discussion or an assignment. So then it would be an attachment that their peer would have to open to see. So it's a little bit more restricted, unfortunately.
Okay.
Kathy, if you click on require peer reviews, does any additional options open? You can manually assign, so you can say, I'm going to grade Kathy's. You can have it automatically assign them, or you can have it anonymous. Like in the workshop, you would choose how many reviews per person they're going to do.
And I think if you do it manually, you can still, either manual or automatic, you can still have it done anonymously. So yeah.
Great questions, though.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to talk about relinking external tools and apps.
All right. So let me get back here just a second.
Kathy's going to talk about Panopto videos. In case you're not aware, Panopto is our new video management system. and it is tied to your courses. So when you add videos, you use the Panopto LTI, and it keeps it with whatever class folder you're in when you add those videos. So moving them over from Moodle to Canvas, Kathy's going to show you the way that you would relink those into your course, because the links don't come over.
Okay, let me share this. On the link we're going to share at the end, there is a, I don't know, is the Tiger Tracks ready? About reference copy?
It is.
Okay, so there's a link to how to make a reference copy of your videos. So you'll notice in this Moodle course, the instructor has already added them to Moodle. That's the purple Panopto sign. I had already made a reference copy. So to make a reference copy, I'm just going to open Panopto, and I don't want to start this. There's this little arrow where you can open up into.
In this exercise, we're going to look at.
Open this, and then at the top is a little folder that these are all the lecture videos in this course. So I'm going to select all the videos and I'm going to copy them. This is where it gets a little tricky. You have to go up here to the top, and I should have probably made this bigger, and you're going to select Canvas and you're going to find your course. So this is the course right here. You would click on it and then click copy, and it's going to copy all those videos into Canvas for you. And there's documentation on it. I know this is small, but then when you go over to Canvas, what happens is it doesn't make that connection. The videos are just in that folder. So when I click on the video, it just opens my folder, and I need to relink those to the specific video that I want. So I just have to go back up to the top of the module, and I have to add an external tool, and I'm going to scroll down and find Panopto, and then I'm going to choose that first video, which I'm going to delete this one so it doesn't really matter. Oh, there it is, annotation. So I'm going to insert it, and then I'll try to make this as big as I can. Down here is where you're going to name it. And I try to name it the same as what I had it named in Moodle, so that's why 2 windows is handy. And then I'm going to, I don't have it load in a new tab because I like to have it embedded in the page. So if you want it embedded in the page, you have to unclick this box. If you want it to open in a new tab, in a Panopto tab, then you can click that box and then you add the item. It drops it at the bottom of the course and it's unpublished. So then you need to move it where you want it. And I didn't rename it, so I'm just gonna copy the name here and rename this. And then I'm gonna delete the old one. And I'm going to publish the new one.
And then show them what it looks like when you click
So
it.
yeah, so now when I open it, it's embedded in the window, and it's just remade that connection to that video.
And then students could enlarge it if they need to see it bigger. They can turn on the captions. And the nice thing about Panopto is it's going to track analytics for you. So you'll be able to see what we're talking about at the beginning. You'll be able to see how many students have watched it, whether they've watched the whole thing. It's going to be nice if you use a lot of videos in your course. And these are just for your instructor made videos. This would not be for YouTube or textbook videos. These are ones that you've created. Okay, K1. So I haven't used the commenting part of Panopto. I've been wondering if this is an option for using this in Canvas to have the teacher candidates annotate videos. So it will open in the Panopto tab. I guess that means it does do the annotate comments then. I'm not sure. I'm going to write myself a note to check into all of that. And I'll get back with you on that.
Okay. But when she was embedding it, that option wouldn't do it, but maybe if I do the tabs, it would do it.
So you want students to be able to leave comments.
Annotate the video, yes. And so on the Danielson framework, they can mark, I saw this part of the framework in this part of the video.
So it would be like they're peer reviewing it in Panopto, essentially.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering.
But yeah, you can do Panopto assignments where you have them either record a video using the Panopto app or upload a video, and then they can submit it that way. The thing I'm not sure about is if they can then annotate on each other's videos. So that's what I will check into. Good questions. Okay, the other types of things that you will need to relink, I'll go back to our slide. You'll need to relink your Zoom, your Turnitin, if you're using Book Bundle, if you're using any of the proctoring or two proctoring tools, those types of things, and you would add them. Most of them will come in as an LTI, like we do in Moodle, where you choose the Zoom LTI from the activities section. You'll use that plus sign, choose your tool, thank you, and there'll be a whole bunch of them in the list. And then so you would choose Zoom or Turnitin, whatever you want to use there. So those links will not, there'll probably be a placeholder for them, like it'll say Zoom, but it won't be a working link. You'll be able to know this is where I had it. I could re-add it right there and delete the old one. At least you'll have that placeholder, but you'll have to relink those. And we do have, we're going to share these slides with everyone, but we do have a page that we created at the very beginning of when we started this whole transition that shows how external apps integrate in with Canvas compared to what we had in Moodle. And
No problem, Caitlin.
we're just about out of time. We are out of time. We've gone over. We'll show you the validate links and content super quick.
All right, let me share. All right, so this is just Canvas. So the link validator, once you have your course imported and things are looking great, you're gonna go down to settings. And then over here on the right-hand side, the very bottom one is called the validate links and content. So you're gonna click that and you're gonna run this report, and it takes a couple of minutes. And it's going to tell you every link in your course that is broken. So you don't have to click through anything. So this course says that there's only one link broken, and that's in the faculty help section, and that's our responsibility to fix. So this faculty member does not have any broken links. Everything that goes out to an external website in their course works. If there were, so this one says in the faculty help page, there's an error. So if I click here, it will take me to, hopefully, it takes me actually to the Canvas faculty essentials. And in somewhere in here, there is an error. So I'm not going to fix it because, yeah.
It's trying to link out to our essentials course instead of to an actual link. And that's the problem.
So it's this one, if it says faculty help, that's our problem to fix. But otherwise, if there's any other broken links, it would take you to the page and you could fix that link there.
Yes. So that's just a really quick overview for you all. Like I said, we're working on some more documentation to help with these transitions on these things. And we do have an unpacking checklist, unpacking your ISU Canvas course checklist, and it covers these things we talked about in much more detail, as well as a lot of other things like your quiz settings, and it covers pretty much everything you have to deal with. Kathy and I just picked the top ones that you would want to fix first if you're importing your course to get it ready and get it going. So that's available to you. We do always have these want to learn more pages where you can click to access the Tiger Treks articles. We have a video library of other things in the Wednesday webinar that we've done before. We also have a link to our upcoming Wednesday webinars for the spring. And of course, you can always reach out to us. The best way is itrc@isu.edu. That will go, all of the full-time staff will see that. And then whoever knows the answer or is available to respond, you'll get a fairly quick response. You can always call, come down. We still have our drop-in lab, or you can make an on-demand appointment with one of us. We'll meet with you one-on-one, either person, phone, Zoom. Zoom seems to work really well because you can share your screen with us. We announce our Wednesday webinars in the Idaho State Today. If you see that in your inbox, scroll down to the coming events and there'll be a link. And if you click on that, it'll take you to a registration page where you can register for this.